Oh my gosh, it's finally here, the Zack Snyder's Justice League. We did it, everybody. Yay for us. I'm just glad it's out now, so we can talk about it and then just be done with it.
Au contraire, my little fish stick.
Let me give you a little bit of background because I've not really talked about any of the DC movies on my channel. Man of Steel is a very flawed movie that I still enjoyed. That one was probably my favorite. I wasn't a big fan of Batman v Superman, like at all. You know, as I think about it and I reflect on it, what it is that I am not smart enough or intelligent enough to understand the themes of Batman v Superman. This is something that I've just come to accept about myself. And then Justice League, the original Justice League.
Brunch. Like, what is brunch?
Boy howdy, that was horrendous. Now look, Zack Snyder is an intriguing filmmaker to me. Pretty much any Zack Snyder film that I watch, it's basically a roller coaster for me, where one minute I'm watching something and I'm like, that's good. And then the next minute I'm watching something and it's like, that's not good. It kind of just goes up and down and up and down. So that's my attitude going into Zack Snyder's Justice League. My expectations were pretty darn low, and I'm happy to report that they were exceeded. I think Zack Snyder's Justice League was better than I thought it was going to be. And I still didn't like it. Okay, look, if you are someone who jumped on the hashtag release the Snyder Cut train, you're probably gonna love this movie. If you liked Batman v Superman, The Man of Steel, and you are just jazzed by Zack Snyder's vision for the DCEU, or I guess the Snyderverse, whatever the hell we're calling it these days, then you are gonna love this movie. And before I jump into my thoughts on the movie, I just want to say a couple things. First of all, Zack Snyder got an incredibly crappy deal from Warner Brothers. They crapped all over his vision with the Justice League, and I think that was really messed up of them to do, especially considering the tragedy that he was dealing with at the time. I will be honest, the most moving part of this entire film came at the very end. The dedication. The film is dedicated to Autumn, Zack Snyder's daughter, whom they lost during the filming of the Justice League. And this feels like a very cathartic moment for Zack Snyder. I imagine it's gotta be. And in that sense, I think it's beautiful. I think it's great that we finally get to see his vision for the Justice League, even if it's not something that I personally enjoyed. So I just wanted to get that out of the way, before I jump into this. I want to start on positives, and then I'll work into the negatives and why I ultimately don't think this is a particularly good film. So as far as positives go, I feel like every hero got a moment to shine, and I think that that's great. I think that it's great that we got to see scenes of heroes like Wonder Woman and Cyborg actually helping individual people out. That's what I like to see superheroes doing, not just fighting these epic fights where, in the abstract they're saving thousands or millions of people. I think that Steppenwolf looks incredible. I mean, it would be really hard to not improve on the way he looked in the Justice League. He looked ridiculous. Here he looks imposing, threatening. I like the sound of his voice. His armor is a little bit distracting, but in a good way, I guess. But the biggest positive in the Snyder Cut, to me, is the story and the arc that Cyborg gets. I don't think the movie succeeds at making him the heart of the story, but I definitely think that that's what the goal was. I just think it got lost in the 4-hour runtime. That being said, though, seeing him develop and seeing more of his character, seeing him go beyond just being kind of brooding and sad, seeing him, before the accident, that he's got a good heart, that he wants to help people out. That was great. It really gave Ray Fisher time to shine. I also think that The Flash has some incredible action sequences. He contributes a great deal to the last battle. I'm not going to spoil anything there, but he does contribute in a very big way proves that he should be on the Justice League, unlike in the original. And one of my favorite scenes, probably midway through the movie, they're having a fight, and it's kind of smoky, and you see the Flash going so fast that he's kind of just popping in and out, and you're just seeing his silhouette against the smoke and the clouds, along with flashes of lightning, from the Speed Force, which I thought looks really cool. I will say this for Zack Snyder, as far as like composing shots and making incredible action sequences, I really don't think you can beat Zack Snyder. I think he's got a fantastic eye for that and fantastic talent for shooting that. The score, okay, so the score, kind of going back to my roller coaster analogy, has really, really good moments, really powerful moments, and then it has moments that are really, really distracting. Like the Amazon scream singing took me out every single time that they did it, mainly because it made me think of that scene from Tropic Thunder.
Cover me, lipstick!
Which in turn led me to think about this scene from Platoon. Naturally, that led me to thinking about this scene from Spider-Man.
Godspeed, Spider-Man. Oh. Ah, my groin!
Which, of course, led me to think about this scene from The Great Gatsby.
You see, I'm Gatsby.
Seeing Leonardo DiCaprio there made me think of Titanic, in particular this scene.
3 years. I've thought of nothing except Titanic, but I never got it. I never let it in.
And seeing Bill Paxton there made me think of this scene from Apollo 13. Freeze it right there. Who is that? Who is it? You know who it is. You know who it is. That is Kevin Bacon, baby. Woo! 6 degrees and we got to him. We did it. What's happening? I've lost... I'm sorry. That whole tangent was overly long and self-indulgent. Speaking of overly long and self-indulgent, that's my biggest complaint with Justice League. Now, my complaint is not just that it's overly long, 4 hours long. That would be pretty hypocritical. One of my all-time favorite movies is Seven Samurai, and depending on which cut you watch, you're looking at around 3.5 hours of runtime. And that's fine. I give that one a pass, so what am I talking about with the Justice League? It's okay to have movies that long, but you had better be damn sure that if it is that long, each and every scene is serving a purpose and is lasting just as long as it needs to, no longer. Unfortunately, Chris Terrio's script and Zack Snyder's direction both combine to make scenes that drag on longer than they need to. One of the biggest signs of Zack Snyder's lack of restraint is just the film's obsession with slow motion shots. I know that this is a personal taste thing. There are people that are going to look at the slow motion shots in this film and think it's incredible and think it looks awesome and cool and fun, and if that is what you feel, more power to you. To me, it seems like a cheap way to give a scene gravitas and importance, and you don't have to put much effort into making it important. And to be fair, this is a critique that I have of the Lord of the Rings films, which I love. So the problem is that with that overindulgence, with these scenes lasting longer than they need to, a lot of the film's heart can get buried. Going back to Seven Samurai, that film has an incredibly simple plot. Hey guys, real quick, this is editing Josh coming in. This next audio got messed up in my original recording, so I had to re-record it, and it sounds really different. So I didn't want it to be jarring, so I'm just warning you. I'm interrupting the video to warn you, because that's much less jarring. There is a poor village of farmers. They're being attacked by bandits. They plead with a samurai to help them. That samurai, Shimada, then helps the villagers recruit 6 other samurai, bringing their number up to 7. The 7 samurai help train the villagers, and then they fight the bandits off. So why is this 3.5 hours? Because the time was taken to get the audience caring about each of those characters. By the time we get to the final fight, there's a great deal of tension, because you care about each and every one of these characters. Kurosawa crafted each and every scene with 2 main goals in mind. The first, forward the characters within the scene, and the second, forward the plot. There's not a scene in Seven Samurai in which each cut and each visual is not serving one of those 2 purposes. And because of that, nothing feels gratuitous. I feel like in most of the scenes of Justice League, Zack Snyder has kind of taken this rule and put it by the wayside, which means that the scenes kind of start meandering, which makes you uncomfortable because you want to have a sense of where a scene is going, how it's fitting into the bigger picture. And Zack Snyder often gets distracted by spectacle. That's why I can watch Seven Samurai, all 3.5 hours of it, and feel like the time flies by and be completely engrossed the entire time. But at the same time, I can watch the Justice League and feel like after an hour of watching it, I've been watching it for 3 hours. It just drains me. But with that being said, if you are a fan of the Snyderverse and you've somehow made it through this somewhat negative review, I want you to know I'm really happy for you. In a lot of respects, the fans made this happen. And I think it's great that Zack Snyder got a chance to get closure here and got a chance to realize his vision. And I really, really am hoping that if you did enjoy this movie, if you were looking forward to it, that you're reveling in it. Don't let people like myself who didn't like the film get you down. But I'm curious. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of Zack Snyder's Justice League. Are you gonna jump on the hashtag Restore the Snyderverse? Let me know. Working on my SNES video. I swear I'm close, guys. I have a lot of thoughts on the SNES, and so it's taken me a while to write it out. But we're gonna get it out. Love you guys. Okay, bye. Oh, actually, before that, I just have one more thing I wanted to touch on. Oh, Jared Leto's Joker. I don't like it. I can tell that he's performing the entire time. And the little door creak laugh that he has, Okay, sorry. I just needed to get that out of my system.